Why is it doing that? I don't want to rotate. Okay, guys. Well, for some reason, it won't let me do it like I was doing it before, straight up and down. So we had to turn it. Always something. Anyway, welcome in. Okay. Can you hear me? Come on, what now? Good morning, guys. Hello. It's going to be harder to read this way. Levy Lamplighter. Hello. Ali Abalis. Hello. Abbas. West Virginia. Where are y'all from? Nice to meet you. It won't let me turn my phone sideways for some reason. Up and down. So now I got to read everything you guys rate sideways. Pakistan. Welcome in. Nice to meet you. That's pretty cool. No, why isn't... Oh. Okay, come on now. We're having technical difficulties this morning. Yes, I have Instagram. I haven't been on there in a while, though. I haven't put much up on there. Come on. You know what? I'm going to have to reset this. Not take a picture. Delete. Hold on a minute. I think it's the Tigress Guide. You'd have to go look. Something's trying to stop this message, guys. So we're definitely going to get it out there. You just got to give me a minute. Let that come back on. Anyway, how are you all doing this morning? What's that say? Shaxinoza? Welcome in. If I get your names wrong, I apologize. Clear the old, bring in the new. Had the Ten of Swords come out. This is definitely going to resonate with the topic. I love vanilla bean. Welcome in. Where are y'all from? Thank you. Believe it or not, if you look real close, I still got dark circles around my eyes. I'm still coming back from the last battle that I was in. Spiritual battle. Basically taking my power back, and that's what I'm going to teach you all. If you want to, if you want to learn, I'm going to lay the wisdom and knowledge down at your feet. You can choose whether or not to pick it up. Gus 8180. Good morning. Welcome in. Okay, come on. How are y'all doing? Kyle Mills, yes, I'm going to do that after we get done and pull cards and see what Spirit's got to say. But welcome in. Thank you. Saxonosa, I appreciate that. I love vanilla bean. I said hi. I don't know if you missed it, but I said hi. I welcomed you in. Space, hello. Account suspended, welcome in. It's okay, I love vanilla bean. This will be uploaded. They're there, Kyle Mills. They're just very, very light. Jaden, hello. Good morning. Welcome in. And happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. I hope you have a good one today. Oh, wow. I don't know why they won't let me turn this the other way. Let me see if I can read it on here. If I can get this going. It won't let me see it. Why is it doing that? There it came. Where'd it go? All right, guys. We got the chat. Where'd it go? I have to turn it down so I can read. Go back. Oh, goodness. We are really having technical difficulties today. Okay, where was I? Belay Soleil. Hi, welcome in. Is that Horge or George? I think it's George. Oh man, my sympathies go out to you. Hang in there, honey. I lost the guy I was dating, my boyfriend, the beginning of August. So I know, you know, I feel you. It won't let me, JS77. It won't let me turn it. It says it's locked. I don't know what's going on. It didn't do that before, but it won't let me turn it. I wish I could. That's crazy, Kyle Mills. Welcome in, be good. Welcome in, Barry. Welcome in, the real Tarzan. I like that. That's cool. Related quotes. Hello. Good morning. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. It won't let me turn it longwise. Up and down. It keeps locking it. So we're definitely having technical difficulties. So I'm going to say that that is the devil trying to stop this message. And I refuse to let that happen. So the real Tarzan, you're in Texas. I have a stepdaughter there. I can never remember exactly where, but I have a stepdaughter there. Anyway, I'm hoping that it was the title that brought you all here. We're going to talk about the defending yourself, because I went through this. I went through this, constantly defending myself, constantly apologizing for things that I shouldn't have had to apologize for because I wasn't doing anything wrong. But I didn't want them to look at me wrong. So I felt like, you know, maybe they had a wrong perception of me. And that wasn't the truth. T-Rex Dino, hello, how are you? How are you? Welcome in. Where are you all from? I'm in West Virginia, in the U.S. Mandingo, thank you. Welcome in. T-Rex, I am a grandmother, so thank you. I appreciate that. Kiss the Bee. I'm just going to say Kiss the Bee. Welcome in. You're from Mars? Hell yeah, you rock. West Virginia, T-Rex. Where are you from? Alex and Gwilyn. Hi, welcome in. Yes, I'm from the U.S., T-Rex. Everybody is, though, so. Okay, so why did that one flip, but this one won't? Now it went out. What the heck? No, I don't want to do that. I don't know. Now it's flipped back. I don't know. technical difficulties. We're just going to do this. I'm going to be sideways, guys, so I apologize. I don't know why it won't let me turn it. It used to give you in the advanced, it used to let you choose when I was on before, but it's not letting me right now. So y'all gonna see me sideways. Alex, you're just on time. You're not late, hun. We've had nothing but technical difficulties, so it was definitely the devil. Anyway, what I was saying is, don't. You have no reason to defend yourself. Don't do it. Don't do it. I've learned that, for one, it's a manipulative tactic to keep your light dim, to keep you where you are. So they have control over you, especially if you really care about them, because that's how they keep control. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you're doing something wrong, you constantly got to defend yourself, or they're conceiving you. You're going to keep doing that. And that's how they keep control. And it's a mind game. And I learned this, and I learned it the hard way. So, you know, I want to pour this out to everybody else and let you know. You have nothing to apologize for. Don't do that. You know, you're worth more than that. And it's a societal thing too. So they keep us in that little box, you know, so we're not thinking for ourselves. We're constantly defending ourselves. That keeps us in a low vibration. When you're in a low vibration, you call in more low vibration, because everything is energy. We're energy. Everything is energy. Dana, hi. Thank you. Welcome in. So, once I had the epiphany, I was able to change the behavior. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have the epiphany first. It's got to be like a light bulb moment. If I get a light bulb moment, I can switch the behavior, but I have to see it first. So that was one of the things that I learned. I know, but this is where God took me, and I know He took me here because I'm very stubborn. I'm very strong-willed, and I was constantly wanting to prove myself. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to prove to anyone. Not your lover, not your friends, not your family, no one. Not even your boss. You have nothing to prove. You know what I'm saying? You come here with the birthright to have everything that you ever wanted and ever desired. And while the devil, which is the devil working through them, while the devil is keeping you in negative, lower vibrational energy, you're not out there shining. You all belong out there shining. You belong out there speaking. The longest time I held my voice back. I have videos, if you go back on my channel and see them. I spoke, but I was not very confident. When I realized that I have nothing to defend and I'm perfect in all ways, that's when I started speaking out. And that's what they don't want me to do. They don't want me to speak out. They don't want these messages out there. So, yeah, you're perfect. It doesn't matter what you're doing, what path you're on, you're perfect. Your destiny is not their destiny. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to understand your destiny, because God's source divine did not give it to them. He gave it to you. You know what I'm saying? Khadija, hi. Welcome in, honey. I can't speak on that. There are certain things we can't speak on here. Myself, I believe they're all hypocritical. So, Corey Thug, hello. Welcome in. Good morning. Anyway, don't spend your entire life defending yourself for something you don't need to defend yourself for. You know, when they do that, it makes you feel like you're not good enough, and you are good enough. I'm here to tell you that you are good enough. You know, God, divine source, doesn't make mistakes. He brought you here. You're not a mistake. You never were. I don't believe in that word. It's not anything we've ever done that's a mistake. It's a stepping stone, because the way I see it, you wouldn't have done it had you known the outcome. So don't let people get to you and bring you down like that. And Alex, honey, no, I'm not ignoring you. How can I embrace what? I have some very toxic family members, and I still love them, but they're very toxic. You know what I'm saying? And for a long time, I let them push me around. You know, I let them belittle me and put me down and make me feel like I was less than what I was. And whether you know it or not, a lot of this starts in childhood. You're conditioned. You know what I'm saying? You're conditioned. Your parents were conditioned. Your grandparents were conditioned. We're here to break these cycles. We're here to break out of that box. And Aquarius and Pluto, right now, with Pluto and Aquarius, I mean, it's going to be in Aquarius for the next 19 years. Pluto is a planet of death and destruction and rebirth. So it's going to be death to the old systems, and there's going to be new, and that's even your way of thinking. You know, we're breaking out of the box. I'm an Aquarius, so I can tell you about Aquarius energy. We're the rebels. We're the humanitarians. We're the voice for the people who don't have a voice. You know what I'm saying? We speak up. We're truth tellers. We a lot of times get called cold-hearted, which is that stereotype just makes me laugh, because we have a huge heart. We have a very huge heart. But we've been through so much shit and seen so much shit that things just don't make sense to us anymore. You know what I'm saying? The old systems, the old ways, the way that people, the way that even, I apologize if this, you know, upsets anyone, but even the way that the government keeps us in a box. You know what I'm saying? So I stand up against it. I'm a voice for the small. Joy, hi, welcome in. Cal, you're a Virgo. You're the one who needs to critique people, and I do not mean that in a negative way. You need to find a way where, because you're very critical, but you're supposed to be. That you're supposed to be. We need you. You know what I'm saying? We need you. People need to learn to accept criticism without taking it personally. You know what I'm saying? And I've dealt with a Virgo, so I took everything he said very personally, but that came from childhood wounds. That came from trust and abandonment wounds, and never feeling like I was enough when I was growing up. Being shoved in a corner, being shoved in bed at 103 degrees with my head covered because my stepdad at the time did not want to see my face. I actually got the courage up to ask him, and that's what he told me. He didn't want to see my face. So you're very important. You play a very important role in society. You need to critique things, you know what I'm saying? But just do it in a healthy way. Try not to be negative about it. Try to be more kind about it. Alex, you're a Scorpio. You're the detective. We need you. You've got to do the detective work. You know what I'm saying? You don't just go by what you're told. You know, study, investigate, go deep. Scorpios are deep. They're very deep people. They're very misunderstood too. If a Scorpio is your friend, man, you got it made. If a Scorpio is your enemy, you better watch out, because that tail is going to sting. I've dealt with Scorpio too. And yeah. Anderhall. I'm from West Virginia. Where are you from? Keisha, I apologize for missing you. I've got a lot of things running. Hi, welcome in. Abdul, welcome in. Indonesia, that's pretty cool. Shout out to Indonesia. And I've heard a lot about that, but I still fall under the category of Aquarius. So, and when Aquarius, Pluto and Uranus are signs, so when they're up there, they do affect me. So I don't know, but I did hear something about it shifting. Respective, welcome in. I can't really give you an opinion on that because I don't really follow the news. I've heard things here and there, but I don't really follow the news. Alex, you have a 2-year-old, is a Scorpio too? Oh boy, you got your hands full. You got your hands full, honey. Just teach them to be very alert and very discerning on who they let in their energy. But teach them to always be them. You know what I'm saying? And don't try to get them to be somebody else. You know what I'm saying? And see, if you break these cycles, then your child's not going to have to do it, Alex. If you break these cycles that we've been conditioned to live in, your child will not have to go through that. So if you're here, if most of you are here, then you have been through a lot. You stood up so many times, and I congratulate you because you're still standing. You were not taken down. You're still standing. But a lot of it comes from conditioning of our parents and our aunts and our uncles and the people that surround us. And that's not saying they're bad people. Not at all. They were conditioned the same way. They taught you what they were taught. And it's more about a belief system, a mindset than anything. Give him a lot of love, Alex. Give him a lot of love. He's going to need that. He's going to need a lot of love and a lot of nurturing, but he's also going to need to know how to put up healthy boundaries. Nobita-san, welcome in. I don't know what you're saying, but welcome in. Jason Moreland, no, I'm not making money from the live streams. I'm doing this because I didn't have this. I didn't have this knowledge and wisdom when I was growing up, and I went through a life of hell. And I didn't realize it was because I didn't have healthy boundaries set. I didn't know my worth. I didn't have the knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? I was put down, beat down, and dimmed my whole life. Always told and made to believe that I wasn't good enough. And I spent my life, my mother loved me. I know she loved me. She said the words, but there was no nurturing. And that's Alex, that's why I'm telling you to nurture him. There was no nurturing there. So I spent my life, and it took me a long time to realize, I spent my life chasing the love that I never had growing up, not realizing that I was the love. I already had it in me. Christopher, or Christoph, hi, welcome in. Nobody, I'm sideways because they won't let me make my thumb straight up and down. it keeps saying that it's locked. So I don't understand why, because I've been doing lives before this and never did that. I tried going out and restarting and it didn't work. But welcome in, nobody. Guide by my peeps. Hey, good morning to you. Welcome in. Well, see, Ineb, I am Aquarius, but I also have a Capricorn rising in Venus, so I have it in me anyway. And that could be why it doesn't affect me. Like, it doesn't change when Aquarius is there. Also, I've noticed that I'm an Aquarius sun, but I'm also stepping into my Leo on that. So it won't let me turn it, Austin, but welcome in. Mark, hey, nice to meet you. I know. Jason, I know I keep saying that, but it's just part of my speech. So, Paul, yes, he does love you. And welcome in. Welcome in, Jason, Mark, Austin, if I missed you. Ineb, I strive every day to be better than I was yesterday. Not better than anybody else, but better than I was yesterday. I'm constantly working on myself and my traumas and my wounds. You know, I have trust issues, abandonment issues, and stuff from growing up. So, and the authority figures in my life, none of them protected me. So I have an issue with that too. If anything, they hurt me. So I've had to work on that too. And not just that, stepping into being a leader, because the leaders in my life, I couldn't trust them. Alex, that's good. That's really good that you're teaching him that. Yes. And that's because we're pretty much built up of all the signs anyway. You know what I'm saying? If you look at your birth chart, you do your birth chart, then you're gonna find pretty much every sign in there. Alex, my knowledge came with experience and time and a lot of pain. A lot of pain. Jason, yes, we do. But we've also I've learned that I've got to be my own mom and my own dad. So what that means is I've got to give the nurturing and the loveness and the loveness. Oh my goodness, the loving and kindness to myself. You know what I'm saying? I have to learn how to give it to myself. I have to be my own mother and my own father. So, my mom was very wounded. She went through a lot of things too, and she was very guarded. So, you know, it was because of traumas and wounds in her life. And my dad was absent. I grew up with stepfathers, and most of them were very abusive. This one, no, but you know, most of my stepfathers, well, all of them, were very abusive. So, and that was verbally, mentally, you know what I'm saying? So I had to learn to give that to myself. I had to learn that I was enough. And I wear my heart on my sleeve. You know, when I was little, I promised myself that I would not be like my family. Harsh, hey, welcome in. Yes, Paul, they will. But it's more, we have to learn that we've always been worthy. You know what I'm saying? Always been worthy. So people make us believe that we're not. And so we do everything we can to show how worthy we are. We don't have to do that. We don't have to do that. We just have to be ourselves. And I encourage being yourself. And I encourage being different and being unique. Don't follow the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Be unique. Be yourself. Be authentic. No matter what that is. No matter what that looks like. If you're gonna, you want to wear piercings in your eyebrows and your nose and your tongue, nobody has a right to judge you. The Bible even says, judge not, lest ye be judged. So you are supposed to be who you are, no matter what that means. People label it as weird. No, you're being you, and that's what God Divine Source wants you to be. Wants you to be you. Doesn't want you to be somebody else for somebody else. Because when you go up and you kneel in front of him, he's going to ask you why you weren't being yourself, why you weren't being authentic, why you didn't do what it was that your soul was pulling you toward. And if you say because your neighbor didn't like it, or your friend didn't like it, or your family didn't like it, he's not going to punish them. He's going to punish you. Next one, welcome in. Next one, there's days that I feel like I'm in my 30s and days that I feel like I'm in my 80s. It just depends. Of course, so welcome in. And I agree with you. And I know you're not insulting me. I didn't take it as an insult, hon. Nadeem Sawanda, welcome in. Where did this go? Alex, I'm not sure. I do know that I don't want to be a Gemini. I don't Gemini. I'm an Aquarius, so our minds never shut down. Like, we're constantly thinking, constantly, and constantly doubting ourselves. I've had to learn not to doubt myself, no matter what. So the only way I can explain it is that I have a thought and 10 thoughts off of that thought and 10 thoughts off of each of those thoughts. My mind's constantly going. And even while I'm talking, my mind's going. I'm trying to figure out, what I'm doing next, or, how to be the humanitarian for someone, how to speak up for someone. Yeah, I mean, my mind's constantly going. So Gemini has two of those. They have the thoughts on each side, and then they have 10 thoughts of that and 10 thoughts off of that. So that's why they call them bipolar. You know what I mean? That they say they're bipolar. But I couldn't imagine having to deal with that. Like, my mind's racing all the time anyway. The only thing I found that helps with that is meditation. They also call them the twins. They're the lovers. So, and I've been with a Gemini. Definitely was a lover. But you're deep, and you know they're constantly in their head. They got the devil and the angel on their shoulders. So my heart goes out to them. Nadim, honey, you're okay. And don't apologize, honey. You have nothing to apologize for. Jason, I'm definitely keeping my head up. I'm actually homeless right now. I'm traveling. I was advocating for a woman who had no voice. She was going into amnesia and not amnesia. Why do I always put it with amnesia? Oh my goodness. Anyway, she was losing her memory and Alzheimer's. And she had asthma and emphysema, and I was taken off the street because the place that I trusted somebody and I moved somewhere, and they basically threw me out because I was talking about God, is what I was told. So this other person took me in, and I'm very independent and very self-sufficient, and I always have been. But I found myself in a predicament that, I wasn't ready for. I made the best of it until my blower motor went out. But anyway, this guy took me in to help take care of his ex-wife. Well, I found out that he was taking money out of her account and had been since 2021. So I stood up for her and I advocated for her. And then he asked me to take care of her because he was going to go to jail due to guns. And so, he told me that she meant the world to him and all of that. So I did. I moved in and I was helping her. And the kids weren't really around. The son started coming around while I was there. And anyway, long story short, the guy ended up slicing his wrists and his arm and stuff over his girlfriend breaking up with him. And the kids pretty much took over and threw me out. So even after everything I'd done for her, they still threw me out. So that's why I ended up homeless. But, God takes care of me no matter what. God, divine source, takes care of me no matter what. I know that I'm going to be okay. But I took that initiative to travel around and see family and spend time with my kids and things that I haven't been able to do because I've been so busy taking care of everybody else instead of taking care of me, putting everybody else first instead of putting me first. And now I'm at the point where I'm putting myself first, and that's not selfish. You can't pour into somebody else's cup if you're not pouring into yourself. And I poured into everybody else to the point of being depleted. And yes, yes. And love yourself. You have to love yourself actually more than you love others because you cannot put other people on a pedestal. When you put other people on a pedestal, you're asking an expectation of them, and sometimes they can't meet that, and then you're disappointed. You need to keep them on the ground with you. Nobody belongs on a pedestal, not you or anybody else. When you put people on the pedestal, it usually comes crashing down, and it's not good. And I even told that guy not to put her on a pedestal, and he didn't listen to me. Medusa, you're right. It's not easy. And Nubhav, hello. Good morning. Welcome in. Roger, Toledo, hi, welcome in. Guys, we're not even going to comment to the rude comments in here. They just want 5 minutes in the spotlight, you know. A lot of that's projecting. So just ignore it. When people put you down and people try to dim your light, they're actually projecting their own feelings about themselves onto you, even if they don't know it. That's what they're doing. So we're not even going to do that, okay? Jason, I got divorced 20 years ago. No, I'm not married. I did work. My twin's father stabbed me in the heart, in between my heart and lungs. Actually, not in the heart, in between my heart and lungs. And while I was driving, and I had to jump from a perfectly good moving vehicle. I didn't hit the brake. I just jumped, and it was with the pocket knife that I gave him for. But the doctor told me that it was an inch from my heart and an inch from my lungs. So I'm not. I appreciate that. And I've have. Alex, hi. Jason, you're Aries. Oh, that's fire. That's passion. That's, you know what I mean? Nobody mess with you. Welcome in. Kawi, welcome in. Ricky Richard, welcome in. Kawi, John Bobby. Okay, well, welcome in. I'm probably not going to remember that, but I've got a lot of people in here. Johnny Walker, welcome in. And yes, hi, Nicker. That's what we're doing right now. We're talking. If he comes on here, I'll talk with him. Georgie Girl Beachy, welcome in. I'm from West Virginia. Shout out to England. Alex, she's 25, you're 30. Well, I wish you guys the best. Like, I'm all for it working out. Vivid Visions Flower, you're 56. Welcome in. Good morning. I'm 51. One thing that was hard for me, when my dad passed away, I went up to clean his place up, and he was a hoarder, so you couldn't step anywhere in the house. Took me over 2 years to do it by myself, and one heart attack. That was my second heart attack. A lot of stress, a lot of fighting. You know, my brother was constantly fighting me. His boss was constantly fighting me. He had his mom fighting me and against me. Like, everybody was against me, even though I was cleaning up and doing it all for us. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I ended up moving to that one place and ending up homeless, because the seventh time he told me to get out, that was it. That was it. I was done. That place wasn't worth it. You know what I mean? The trailer wasn't worth it. The land wasn't worth it. It wasn't worth it to me. That stress. The thing that was hard for me though is when I was going through the pictures, like I didn't grow up with my dad. We had just started getting close the last 2 years of his life. And 2 months before he passed away, I addressed the elephant in the room that nobody wanted to address. And, we worked through it. And then he was taken. But when I ran across the pictures of him and my brothers and how happy they were, and I wasn't there, you know what I mean? I wasn't in any of those pictures. I wasn't a part of any of that. He chose a different family over me and left me out, and it really hurt. I mean, I found myself smiling because the boys were so adorable when they were little, but I also found myself crying a lot. Carlos, hola, welcome in. The N word? I don't think I did. I don't like that word. Okay, guys. Well, I don't know what I did wrong. Apparently, I did something wrong. YouTube is taking away my right to stream live. So apparently, I offended somebody, but that's what it's about. They want to shut you down because they can't take what you're saying. I didn't do anything wrong that I know of, except maybe talk about the government. I don't know. Nicker, I wish you fast recovery and healing. I send you all the blessings that are out there. Donnie Walker, I don't know if you should wear knee gear. Enough have. You guys are my friends. I don't know what I'm going to do about the live being shut down. I'm going to have to figure out what's going on. See if I can dispute it. But don't let people tell you you're something you're not. Stand up for yourself. Put your healthy boundaries up. Don't let people disrespect you. Be who you are. Don't be afraid to shine. Don't be afraid to be who you are. And if that's the most important message I can get out right now, because they're not going to let me back on the live, I guess. I don't know. But I just got a thing from YouTube. So follow me on Instagram. I believe it's the Tigress Guide. Good loving is what got me here, honey. Grey Wolf. But welcome in. Jay Finkel-Smith, welcome in. Honey, if you've been through what I've been through, you'd probably look a lot worse than I do. Papello, welcome in. Chemo, I do have Jesus. I have God, Jesus, Source, Spirit. They're all one. And it's all energy. So it's within us too. So anyway, good boy. Okay, welcome in. I just want you guys to feel confident and feel confident in being yourselves, and don't let anybody tell you who you are. You know who you are. Georgie Girl Beachy, yes, it will change. Because I have the light in me, and because I want to pour knowledge and wisdom at people's feet for them to choose to pick it up and change their lives. Because we have free will, so I can't make you take it, but I can put it at your feet. I have a lot of envious people, a lot of jealous people, a lot of people trying to take me down. So I'm used to this, you know what I'm saying? But God's got me. And the phone died. So I'll have to look on here again. Well, it looked like it came from YouTube itself, Austin. So if they do, I don't know, we'll keep trying to do the live. Yes, Chemo, you're right. Okay. Well, maybe that's what happened the other day then, because they told me that they were going to shut me down, that I had done something wrong, unless I stopped the stream. So I stopped the stream and came back, and we were fine. Somebody told me it might have been because I was smoking a cigarette. I don't know. I guess I would get a notification from YouTube from the actual thing, though. But I will keep trying to come back. If I can't, you guys don't see me, then that would be why. This iPhone died again. I'm telling you, if my daughter didn't buy it for me, I've had it for probably 4 years, though, so see if I can charge it back up. We're going to have to, you guys are going to have to be patient with me, because I'm not going to be able to see the stream sideways. He does have us all, Georgie. He does. More than even we know. He's never apart from us. He's always a part of us. He's always inside of us. So it's an illusion that we're ever apart from him. Austin, yes, they love messing with me. That kind of, see, that's what I'm saying. That kind of stuff used to upset me, and I used to write a book. And I'm not joking, guys. I used to write a book to people who would say things like that to me. But, because I'm an automatic writer. But it doesn't bother me anymore. You know, I just wanted to let you guys know, if I don't come, it might be, if I don't come back on here, they'll use that in the wrong way too. If I don't show back up on here, then that would be why. So I've asked several times, and I don't care who believes me, who doesn't, who gets offended by this, and I'm not trying to offend anybody or hurt anybody's feelings, but I have asked several times who I am. And even one time I was watching a reader, and I asked the question, and I was like, never mind, I don't want to know. I don't want to know, you know. But I've been shown several times The Chosen. So, and I've had people tell me, Laura, you're little Laura in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, in the middle of a little town. Who are you to be a chosen one? Why would God choose you? Well, the answer that came to my head that I was told is that they're hidden among us. So I didn't feel worthy of that spot. I in no way, shape, or form felt worthy of that spot. But every time I've asked, there's been something that has come up that has said the chosen one or chosen one. The day that I had asked it and then said, never mind, I didn't want to know, I was watching a reader, and the very next card out was breath work, which I had been hearing a lot about breath work. You're breathing, you know, watch your breathing. And the very next thing that came out was the movie, The Chosen. So people can believe what they want to believe. He's chosen me because I'm a cycle breaker. But I'm on here talking to you guys too. So you guys are also cycle breakers. I'm not any more special than anyone else. And I would never claim to be. I have known since I was a child that I wanted to help people. I've done that my whole entire life. I've helped people. I didn't know exactly in the way that I was going to, and I didn't run across the tarot or anything like that until about 10 years ago. Actually, no. My mom died in 2010, so 15 years ago, when I found that she had cards that I had no idea she even had. She had an oracle deck, and I didn't even know my mom did that kind of stuff. So it was a shocker to me. And then in 2015, I looked up at the sky and asked God why. What was wrong with me? There couldn't be the same thing wrong with every single guy that I'd ever dated. There had to be something wrong with me. And he proceeded to show me. And he showed me through tarot. And I did a lot of healing through tarot. I learned of wounds and things that I had that I didn't even know I had. I learned about my trust issues and my abandonment issues. I didn't even know I had any of that. So I learned to start working on me, and I learned through that. And as I heal and I grow and I learn, I lay that knowledge down first for my children, because I taught them the same way I was taught, the same belief system as I was taught. And then I spread it out to the world, whether that be friends, that be my community, that be on here. I pass the knowledge down. I pay it forward. Okay, let me see. I don't know where I stopped. Okay. Alex, thank you. Chemo, you're entitled to your opinion, hon. Alex, I appreciate that. If I help just one person, I've done my job. I've had so many people try to break my faith. They've done everything they could to break my faith, and I'm very loyal. Growing up, my self-esteem was broken. The beatings with switches and, the putting me in bed with my head covered 103 degrees outside, the constantly having to stand at the kitchen sink for hours and hours and hours and do all the dishes that were pulled out of the cupboards and drawers and stove and all of that kept me busy. So when company came, I was never allowed to interact. Raising my brothers and sisters when I was younger until my stepdad here came along. I was never allowed to have the life of a child. I had to grow up very fast, and I was never good enough. So that was a lot of trauma and a lot of things that I had to come back from and work my way back from. But the one thing that they never did was break my spirit. They never broke my spirit, and they never broke my heart. Yes, I don't mean as in I wasn't heartbroken. I've had a lot of heartbreaks in my life, a lot. I've had family and friends and lovers turn against me. I have an ex that I was supposed to be with that chose my brother's ex-wife recently, at the beginning of the year, which really crushed me because I poured everything into him. But still, they broke my heart, but I still have an open, loving heart. I still love everybody. Even him. I still love him. I see the wounds. I see where the behaviors come from. It's wounds and traumas that people haven't addressed in their own life. It's the sadness and the anger that anger actually comes from sadness. So it's suppressed sadness is what it is. It's suppressed pain. And you become angry. You become angry about the way you're treated and you don't address it. So it gets thrown back into your subconscious, and then it plays out in your life because God is having you triggered. Those are triggers, and you work on those. When they come in, you work on them. And then that's why you're triggered. Your relationships, your partnerships, your friendships, your jobs, all of that is meant to to point out those triggers so that you know what you need to work on in yourself. But society hasn't taught us that. It's taught us to follow the lead and follow the crowd and not think for ourselves and think the way that they want us to think. Follow the belief systems that they want us to follow. They don't want us to break out. Well, it's Pluto in Aquarius, so they got no choice. People are breaking out of that box. They're breaking out of that little box that they've been set in. You know, the rebels are coming out, and I'm a rebel, and the rebels are coming out. People are starting to think for themselves, and it can't be stopped. No matter what, they can't stop it. There's going to be people who are going to stay in the conditioning. There's going to be people who refuse to budge, who refuse to look inside, who want to point the finger at everybody else instead of looking inside at themselves. And I've had to look inside at myself a lot. You know, yes, I've gone through relationships, but that's because I didn't know my worth. That's because I didn't know how to work on myself. And that knowledge, I never had that knowledge. Like I said, I didn't know I had trust issues and abandonment issues. And how are you going to work on something if you don't know it's even there? And I'm self-healed. I went to counselors when I was did anything but try to take me away from my parents. And what good would that have done me? Because you get put in the system, half the time you end up more fucked up than what you were before you went in. So, and I loved my mother. No matter what, I loved my mother. And I wanted mom to be proud of me. I never heard those words, but that's all I wanted. You know, I did things to try to make her proud of me. And I realized one day that I was never going to hear those words, and I needed to be proud of me. Not worry about her being proud of me. But I love her, and I still love her. God rest her soul. And she's my guide. She's my guide now. And she has been since she passed. Chemo, if you're religious, like you say you are, you should not be judging, because if you're judging, God's judging you. And I mean no disrespect by that. But if everybody's truly following the Bible, it does say in there, judge not, lest you be judged. Jane, what does that say? Wilkander, welcome in. There's so many comments, and I'm trying to address everyone. I'm doing my best to address everyone's. So if I miss you, I apologize. I'm not trying to. It's just I'm reading this screen sideways while my other phone charges back up so I can get back on it. And it won't let me turn it. So I'm doing my best. And also, in case you all are wondering, I actually had a preacher, which shocked me, who told me that I have naturally the gift of hearing, speaking, and knowing, a gift that he, as a preacher, as a priest, has been trying to develop his whole entire life. And you all have it. You've got to learn to trust yourself. You know, when those thoughts come in, those thoughts, they come in, they don't come in from you. They come in from God. They come in from source. You've got to learn to trust it. And I had to take that journey of learning to trust it, because I've noticed that even if something comes in that doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, it makes sense to another person. It makes sense to the person that I'm talking to. So I've learned just to speak what it is that comes, because I channel too. I don't only read tarot, I also channel, and I also have experience. And I'm for the better good. I want people to be able to heal themselves and work on their traumas and be able to change their life. That's what makes me the happiest, when I see someone turn their life completely around. You know what I mean? I love that. If I can help someone not have to go through what I've been through, I also love that. If I can help them prevent it. And if they're going through it and I can help them through it, I love that too. Okay. Yes, we are. And we need to take our power back, Alex. We are the people. We need to take our power back from those who we have allowed to take it from us, because they can't take it unless we allow them to. Carrie, I was welcome in. Good morning. I was actually born in the US, so I was actually born in Baltimore, Maryland. Easy, welcome in. Good morning. I had to get rid of the one that was spamming the comments because there were so many of them I couldn't see you guys. Shout out to California. Welcome in, Gabrielle. Yes, I am. I get to talk to you guys. So yes, I'm definitely having a good day. Mime G123K, welcome in. Good morning. DK, hi, welcome in. Carrie, I hope you have a great day too. My name is Laura. Nice to meet you, Lim G. JK, I look like one what? Welcome in, JK. Die 60s? Welcome in. If I pronounced that wrong, I apologize. DK, I have my own opinion about politicians, any of them. But right on, I hear you. You have a right to your opinion and your feelings. BSE and MCX King, welcome in. Hey. Welcome in, Wise Fool. BSE, and I'm just going to call you BSE. BSE, that's cool. That's cool. I like Indians. King Daniel, welcome in. Everyone is entitled to their own political beliefs. I'm not going to beat down or badger anybody for their beliefs. I encourage everybody to be themselves and have their own opinions and do what they feel is right for them. I don't vote. I just allow whoever to show me who they are. You know what I'm saying? God's got me on a different path, a different destiny. Posey Don 2.0. Well, thank you for that. Thomas McDonald, welcome back. How you doing today? You're 23? Honey, I'm 51. But I appreciate that. Mo Birchall, that's my business, not yours. You played War Thunder all day? You've been playing video games? That's cool. It's been a while. It's been a while since I've played. I used to play all kinds of them. But I found myself getting addicted to it, so I had to pull myself away. Poseidon 2.0, I still appreciate that. Thank you, honey. It's just... Okay, hold on here. Mo Birchall. It's just woodsy. Nature, you know. Connect to nature. McDonald, honey, I can relate to you on that, being bullied, because my last name, my maiden name, was Schoolcraft. So in school, I was called school scum and witchcraft and you name it, you know. So I was bullied too. I understand that. But, you know, you're still pretty awesome. Don't let them make you feel less than you are. Poseidon too, thank you. I appreciate that. DK, what are you saying? This is actually a legging set. Mo Birchall. You're welcome, Thomas. I can with you on that, you know? And it sucks that people can be so mean. But you got to remember too, what are these people that were bullying you? What are they growing up with? Because a lot of the bullies actually are bullied at home. I just turned out to be the opposite. Like, I was bullied, but I could never bully other people. Like, I don't have it in me. So Thomas, you missed where I was talking about feeling like you have to defend yourself. You have nothing to defend. And bullying was one thing, That's one of the reasons that we felt like we had to stand up for ourselves and defend ourselves and apologize for things we didn't even do, in order for people to like us or people to get us, or we constantly felt like they were misunderstanding us. So we were constantly defending ourselves. You have nothing to defend, honey. Don't defend yourself to anyone. You be you. You be unique. I don't care what you do. You know what I mean? You weren't put here to be like everybody else. You were put here to be like you. Your path and your destiny isn't the same as everybody else's. God chose a path for you and chose a path for them. They're not going to understand your path because it's not theirs. It's not their destiny. You're not going to understand theirs because it's not yours. It's their destiny, their path. Don't ever let anybody make you feel small. Yeah, they do it for fun. They get a laugh out of it because it makes them feel big and powerful and almighty, but they're not. They're not. They're just a bully. Mangi Otas, good morning. Welcome in. I'm not being nasty. I would never intentionally try to hurt anyone. This is experience. This is what I've come through experience wise. This is what God has shown me. And I'm an Aquarius, so a lot of the things that I say sometimes may come off harsh, but I don't mean for it to. I just don't believe in giving people, unicorn farts and lollipops and fairy tales and gold dust or whatever the heck you want to call it, because telling people what they want to hear is not going to help them. Telling them what they need to hear is going to help them more. And a lot of people don't have the guts nor the courage to stand up and tell people what they need to hear. They'd rather cater to their feelings and make them feel good about themselves than to tell them the truth. People will straight out lie to you just so you'll like them. They won't tell you their true feelings, or, if something you say bothers them or anything like that, because they're too busy wanting to make you feel good. And that's what the bullies wanted. You know what I mean? They wanted you to raise them up and make them feel good and let them put you down so they felt superior to you. I like lollipops too, Thomas. Just not people feeding me lollipops in illusion. Oh, Georgie, I apologize. I misunderstood. I thought you were talking to me. It's okay. Let them be them. That's what God told me. Let people be who they are. It doesn't matter. But don't let their nastiness make you feel any sort of way about yourself, because it has nothing to do with you. People treat you the way that they feel about themselves. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that. I learned that the hard way through the jail system, believe it or not. Not me being in jail, dealing with guys in jail, but like I said, I was stubborn and very strong-willed. So a family member led me to the jail system. My niece's husband went there, and one of my family members asked me if I'd like to talk to him. And of course, I was like, yeah, sure, why not? He got me entangled with one. Later on, that one got me entangled with another one, and it just kept going. I was trying to help them. That's how it started out, but they charmed me and basically told me what I wanted to hear to get me where they wanted me to be, and then manipulated me and used my emotions against me so that I would give them money. And I did. they got lots of money from me. And the one got out. We were supposed to be together, and he got a lot of money from me. I bought him stuff for while he was in there, plus stuff for the house and stuff to start our new life because we were supposed to be together. That's what he told me. And then he ran off with my brother's ex-wife. So that was very hard for me because he really truly made me believe that we were going to be together. But I still love him, and I still know that he's got traumas, he's got wounds, you know what I'm saying? And not just that, God told me that that's his path with her. You know, sometimes we got to meet a karmic, and our karmic is our catalyst to our healing. They take us down, but it's also what makes us stand back up and become stronger. Georgie, I appreciate you taking up for me, hon. Paracopter, welcome in, and thank you. Yeah, I'm all about the light. You know what I mean? I'm all about helping. I'm a healer. I heal myself, and then I lay the knowledge and wisdom down for others to heal themselves. First, my children, but then, you know, everybody else. Because I don't want my children. Hold on, let me reword that because God universe does not understand negatives. So give me a second. I would like my children to avoid having to go through the things that I've gone through. And some of them, exactly. I have a daughter who walks right in my shoes, and I do my damnedest to change her mindset on that. Like, I don't want her to go through, okay, gotta take the don't out. I would like her to escape from having to go through all the pain I went through. And she's a quick learner. Thank you. Green for grounding. I decided to wear green today. You know, nature, ground myself a little bit. Greens and browns and reds will ground you. Jordan, that was to you. I'm thanking you. Good night, Thomas McDonald. Shout out to. Thank you, Jordan. Oh, Paracopter, I appreciate that. Georgie, I'm always having people try to take me down. I'm always having people envy me. They try to take what I got, even though I don't really got anything. I mean, I've had people even trying to take, I've had so called friends even try to take my kids from me or get me to give them my children. So, and I don't understand. Like, me and my kids are close, yes, but they could have the same relationship with their children, you know. My kids are so well mannered, and you know, I've taught them to look in the mirror and love who they are, even though they've battled through this, like they have. I've always encouraged them. I've always, you know, told them how beautiful and intelligent and smart they were, regardless of what my family was telling them. Which was, I mean, my one daughter, they would tell her she looked fat and pregnant all the time, and it hurt her, you know. So I was always trying to lift them up where everybody else was tearing them down. And even my family tried to turn my kids against me. So, you know, and some of them may not even realize they're toxic. You know what I'm saying? Julie, size 13, what do you mean? You talking about me? Or are you talking about you? Andrea 54 Hector, thank you. I appreciate that. Welcome in. I wish this phone would let me turn it the other way. Charles B., welcome in. Shout out to Atlanta, Georgia. Mandingo, shout out to Africa. Georgia, that's because being ugly to other people makes them feel empowered and makes them feel like they're better than someone else. And, you know, one of the guys in jail was constantly telling me that I was naive and gullible and delusional and all of that. And it really hurt. Like, it really hurt me. And I defended myself constantly. But, I realized that I had nothing to defend. What? I'm gullible because I wear my heart on my sleeve and I want to unconditionally love people, and I believe people deserve second chances, sometimes even third. I changed, I chose to change. So others can do it if they really want to. So, and I see people's potential. Even if they don't see their own potential, I see it in them. So I encourage it. I do my best to help them. Like, I've tried to drag them out of the river, but they pretty much drowned me, or just about drowned me. Like, I've been depleted because I've tried to help somebody so much and they fought against it and resisted. I had to learn to let go. It's very hard for me to let go. I don't like letting go. I don't like feeling like I failed someone. Shout out to Chicago, Andrea. I am Hillary. Hello, you guys got to be patient with me. I'm reading this sideways. They won't let me turn my phone upright. It says it blocks the orientation. Moberto, do I know? I don't know what you're saying there. I loving. I don't know what you're saying. Mandingo, Africa is big. I've talked to some people in Africa. I used to on my other Facebook, but it got so many people in there. I couldn't keep up, literally. I had thousands of people in there that were talking to me all the time, and I loved it. I loved talking to people. Raquette, good morning. Welcome in. George, you keep doing that. You keep writing, honey. You keep writing. Congratulations, by the way. York Brown, welcome in. I went out with one Mandingo, and my first husband was Spanish, so I'm not racial. You're welcome, Georgie. I heard, Georgie, you're going to go far. You got to keep believing in you and keep doing it. I don't judge anybody. It's not my place to judge. Everyone, God made everyone. We were all put here by God. What is Cash? Welcome in. Good morning. I've had some experience with black boys, Mendingo. Johnny Walker is what, right? There are good and bad in all people, guys. Should never judge one by another. But you're entitled to your own opinions too. I'm not saying that you're not. I'm sure there's a very good reason why you feel the way you do. But there's good and evil in all. In everything. In all people, in all religions, spiritual, cults. There's good and evil in all of it. I mean, we have an evil Bible as well as a good Bible. So there's got to be balance. Light and dark. It's got to balance out. If it doesn't, then something will happen to correct it so it does balance out. Too much bad takes over, then the light comes in to rebalance it. Too much good takes over, then the dark comes in to balance it. Yin yang. Anani Ayu? Hi, welcome in. I'm so glad all you guys are here. So basically, you know, what we're talking about, guys, if you just loving you for you, no matter what anyone else thinks, says, or does. We're not defending ourselves anymore. There's nothing to defend. You have no reason to defend yourself. That's just a way to keep you in a box, keep you, you know, keep control over you, manipulate you, keep you where they want you. Took me a long time to learn that, but I learned it, and I learned it the hard way. I'm perfect just the way I am, and so are all of you. Your path, your destiny is different than others, so don't let them put you down. Whatever passion and fire and creations that you've got, whatever lights you up, take that energy of defending yourself and feeling unworthy, and, you know, the anger and the hurt and the pain and the sadness that everybody makes you feel, take that and channel it into your art, your creativity. What lights your fire? What lights your passion? Transmute that energy. That energy don't belong to you. You don't need to carry it on your back. That's somebody else's. You know what I mean? It's how they feel about themselves. Yes. Anani Ayu or IUW. That's good. keep encouraging that. But you also got to know this too. I've had people, a lot of people through my life told me I was beautiful, but I didn't believe that. I didn't believe that. I had to start seeing it for myself. Especially since my stepfather said he was tired of seeing my face, you know, and put me in bed and made me cover my head. They called me nicknames that were, they used them, the names itself were not degrading names, you know what I mean? But they made them seem degrading. They made them seem like a bad thing. And my whole family, like my one stepdad called me names and made me feel like, I don't know, just made me feel like I didn't belong here. And my brothers and sisters, they continued to call me that way up into my high school years. And it really hurt. And they didn't care. They just laughed at me. Mr. Alpha, hello, welcome in. Roshlyn Official, hello, welcome in. Enemy, I will try to remember that, okay? I will try to remember to call you John. Well, see, and we're conditioned in childhood. That's what I'm saying. We're conditioned in childhood. That's where we get our trust issues from, and our abandonment issues, and not trusting, and you know, where we don't feel good enough. We've been shunned and stuck in corners and made to believe we weren't good enough. I was the black sheep. I'm still the black sheep, guys. Like, they laugh at me. They think what I do is funny, you know, and it's always put down. If they can get a one up, they're happy. It makes them feel good. It makes them feel bigger than life, but they're really not, because they're not addressing their issues. They're just putting them in the back of their mind, and then they wonder why they keep playing out in their life. It's because God's trying to trigger them so they know what to work on in themselves. But instead of doing that, they're pointing fingers and laughing at other people and judging other people and putting them down. And I love my family. Don't get me wrong. I love all of them. But I also see what's going on. I see it clearly now. I didn't used to. Anyway, how are you all doing? I really hate that this thing, okay, yes. I really dislike that this thing won't let me turn it the other way. Okay, well, that's upside down. Must have just went upside down. I love getting on here and talking to you guys in the morning. It makes my day. Clint Corbell, hi, good morning, welcome in. It wasn't even showing me your message. It was hidden below. Is this charged enough? All right. are y'all doing? Oh, how did the eclipse affect you guys? We had the one on the 7th and the one on the 21st, and that usually eclipse out of your life what no longer serves you and eclipse in what does. And, you know, it can be rough. How'd you guys handle it? Clint, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess YouTube just wants me sideways today for some reason. Nah, man. Shout out to Pakistan. Welcome in. Does anybody know how to turn this thing around on live? It won't let me. Every time I do, it says that orientation is blocked. I know when I came on here before, you used to be able to choose which way you wanted it to go. But it won't let me now. And it was fine up until today. Like, I've been doing, all the lives I've been doing has been upright. Naman, I said hi. Welcome in. Well, I said welcome in. Hi. I can't remember who it was that said they wanted a reading at the beginning. So many people come in. I'm excited to see all of you. And some, you know, some come back from yesterday and a couple days before. That was nice. Anybody want to ask the cards a question? I'll do what I can. I won't be able to get everybody, but I'll do what I can. Impulsive alien. Because life and people have made you feel like you need to fight yourself, that you're not good enough, but you are. You always have been. You were born good enough. I had that same war inside of me. Conflicted, constantly second-guessing myself. Not feeling good enough. Always feeling like I was going to do something wrong or make the wrong decision. There is no wrong decision. Don't let people make you feel that way. And that's what we were talking about on here. You know, having to defend yourself. You have nothing to defend. You're perfect the way you are. You're on your path. You're on your destiny. There's no such thing as mistake. I don't believe in mistakes. I believe in stepping stones. We learn from those things. If we would have known the outcome beforehand, most of us wouldn't have done it. But then we wouldn't have been able to work on the traumas that God Divine Source wants us to work on in ourselves. I believe we're here to call back our old soul pieces, our old lost, broken soul pieces. That's what I believe. And Earth is a classroom. We're not only, working on ourselves for us, we're working on ourselves for our past on loved ones and our ancestors. They ain't gonna come back and do this shit. I don't want to come back and do this shit. I want to learn it now. I want to heal myself now. And we don't get karma for people don't get karma for what they do to people. They get karma for the way that they act, their own actions. Impulsivillian, you're welcome. I'm just telling you the truth. God doesn't make mistakes. He put you here. You're not a mistake. You have no reason to second guess yourself. Don't fight with yourself. There is no wrong path. If you go back to the past, that's just because there's something you missed, something you didn't pick up. You know what I mean? On the first go around. So you pick it up. If you go forward, there's a new lesson. So even if you pick up that knowledge and you learn, and it's lessons about ourselves and our worth, guys. That's what the lessons are about. It's about learning our worth, learning that we've always been good enough. We've let other people and other situations make us feel like we're not. But if you don't go to the past and you've picked up everything that you've needed to learn from that, the future is still going to give you another lesson. Sean, welcome in. And are you actually, I know that for a long time I just kept pushing myself forward, acting like nothing ever bothered me, being pretty much robotic and pushing myself through life, not allowing myself to feel my feelings. And I know that God worked with me for 3 years. All I did was cry. You need to be tapped into your emotions. There's nothing wrong with that. And if people are telling you you're sensitive, that's actually a compliment. They use it as degrading, but it's actually a compliment, because the more sensitive you are, the more you're tuned into people's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? As you heal yourselves and you raise your vibration and you start learning who you are going to become more sensitive. You're going to become more sensitive to light. You're going to become more sensitive to sound. You're going to become more sensitive to the energy in the room. You're going to know when people are telling you a line of shit. And then you're going to start second guessing yourself. And if you say anything to them, they're going to make you second guess yourself. There's nothing wrong with crying. That's purging. You're purging out the old. You need to let it out. Angela Gretsch, love the rainbow. Yeah, Impulsivillian. I've fought a battle within myself most of my life. I just stopped fighting myself, and I learned to accept myself, good and bad. The shadow side of myself and the light side of myself, because that's what we need to do. We need to embrace ourselves for who we are. That shadow side that everybody puts down in some way helps you. You know what I'm saying? Like a Taurus moon, okay? So you release a bull. That's a bull. You release a bull in a china shop. What's going to happen? Everything's going to get broke. You know what I'm saying? But if a bull doesn't want to move, how do you know it's not moving because it's just being stubborn? Or is it not moving because intuitively God's telling it it's not time to move? But when a bull wants to move, you better get out of its way because you're not going to stop it. You know what I'm saying? There's good attributes, even the stubbornness and the refusing to move. There's good attributes in it too. So we have to learn to love our shadow side as well as our light side. It's yin and yang. It's equal balance. Maddie, welcome in. Yeah, you have nothing to defend. Yes, Jan, I'm doing good, regardless of whether I'm homeless or not. My mindset is good, and everything happens for a reason. You know, maybe it was God's way of saying, "Hey, you haven't seen family in forever. You need to go see them." I was too busy helping other people and doing for other people. You know, I wasn't living my own life, so. And I've enjoyed, you know, coming to see family. I've seen my daughters more than, you know, my brothers and sisters and my stepdad. I've seen my daughters more. They come to see me. Amadou, Asma, hi, welcome in. Y'all be respectful. You know, good attention or bad attention is still attention, right? Edmund, welcome in. And you guys know the devil just wants love, right? Yes, he wants control too, but he also wants love. What do you mean, am I active? Lundika, hi, welcome in. I'm constantly working on something or doing something. I'm cleaning the room I'm staying in right now. Moving stuff around. Naveen, that's sweet. Yeah, I know everybody tells me smoking's bad for me, but I enjoy it, and it probably is. I've had 2 heart attacks, so it probably is. I've had to have 2 stents put in. Excuse me. I'm in West Virginia, Naveen. Wild, wonderful West Virginia. See, I turned it and orientation locked again. Look. Got the wood pile. Wood stove. Dad's got clothes on the line on the back porch. West Virginia. Rolling mountains, hills. Jeez. The boondocks. I love it. Nature. My bedroom is a mess, and no, that's private. And definitely right now, because it's really a mess. But I've done readings in my room before. I've sat on my bed and done them. Not here, but... I'm working on it. Doing my best to get it done. There was a lot of stuff in there. Nobody was here, you know, so Dad just kind of put everything in there. I wish this thing would let me turn it around. Naveen, my daughter told me something that I didn't know, and it shocked me actually. I was with this guy, and he was really good to the kids. Like, they did crafts and stuff together, and we were having problems. And my brother basically told me it didn't matter how I felt. He was good to the kids. I need to stay. So I did. I listened to him, and I stayed, even though we fought all the time, and I was miserable. The only thing we got along on is, you know, the kids. And my daughter walked up to me one day and she said, "Mom, you're unhappy." And I said, I'm good, honey. Why are you saying that? She said, "Because, Mom, your eyes have lost their blue." I didn't even know you could tell that kind of thing, but she could. And she was only like, what? See, we were 14, 15, somewhere around there. No, wait a minute. No. She was 12. And that's what she told me. And I realized that she was right. When I'm not happy, my eyes get dimmer. When I'm happy, they get brighter blue. But she also looks at the details in people's eyes, and I would have, I look people in the eyes, but I never thought about looking at the details in their eyes, but she does. She can tell you about flecks and lines and all kinds of stuff in your eyes. It's crazy. So you guys want to see what Spirit has to say about the defending yourself and apologizing? See what messages he has for that. Hans Olo, hi. I don't know what that says, but welcome in. Hi, welcome in. Oh, there goes George. There's that donkey. He's raising Cain. Spirit, what do you want to say to my collective about defending themselves and apologizing? What do you want to say to them? This is just something I'm trying, guys. I don't know how it's going to turn out. Okay, we have 2 cards. So the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is indecisive, in and out. They have doubts. So basically it's telling you to go after your fire and your passion. Don't let anybody stop you, and get out of your head. Don't go back and forth. There is no right, no wrong path. Either way. You know what I'm saying? They're wanting you to bring your fire back and be determined and go after it. Don't let anybody make you second guess yourself. 208.50. Well, 28. We'll just say 208. And justice. Divine Source Spirit is saying they're bringing you justice over this. Get your own justice. Stop defending yourself. Stop apologizing. You have nothing to apologize for. You have nothing to defend yourself for. They're bringing in your justice, but they're also saying you can get your own justice, but stop letting them make you react. Stop letting them use your emotions to jerk you around and jerk your emotions around to keep you in that box and keep you stuck. What else? I'm going to have to timestamp this. What else? Ten of Wands. Lay those burdens down. They're not yours to carry. They're only projecting onto you how they feel about themselves. When you point a finger at somebody, you have 3 pointing back at you. So, realize that, even if they don't say it, or even if they don't know it, this is how they actually feel about themselves inside. But they don't want to deal with that nor look at that. So they're going to put it on you and try to give their karma to you. Don't take it. It's not your burden to carry. You're almost up to the top of that mountain. You've had a lot of roadblocks and a lot of obstacles, but it's there. And when you get there, Spirit is telling you to lay these burdens down. They don't belong to you. It's not your cross to bear. They have to carry their own cross. Only pick up what belongs to you and move forward. Other people's burdens don't belong to you. They're saying happiness, joy, 10 of cups. That's everything you want. That's happiness. That's joy. That's abundance. You're only going to get that if you stop carrying other people's crosses. Stop letting them hold you back. Stop letting them dim your light. Be yourself. Be your authentic self. Don't be afraid to be who you are. You're supposed to be unique. You're not supposed to be like everybody else. We weren't brought here to be like everybody else. We were brought here to be ourselves. We came here for an experience, no matter what that experience is in. We came for the experience. You want your abundance and your happiness. You have to make yourself happy first. You have to realize that nothing outside of you completes you. You're already whole and complete. You need and want something that actually complements you, and you don't really need it. You want it. You feel like you need it, but it's not really a need. It's a want. Because if you go from a space of feeling like you need something, God, divine source has no choice but to give you more of needing it. You know what I mean? What you believe is what happens. This and that are true. If you believe you're not enough, then you always see yourself as not enough, and that's what will come in. Things and people that will make you feel like you're not enough. Once you realize you're enough and you've always been enough, then you will call more things in that also show you that you're enough, because you now believe that within yourself. Once you start believing that you're perfect and you're whole in yourself, and your uniqueness is great, then more things will show you that in your life. You can have the happiness and abundance and joy that you want, but it starts within. You have to learn to love you before he can send someone else in to be with you that is going to raise you up and inspire you and add to the love that you already have. And what is at the bottom of this? The reason for all of this is the battle, the conflict, the tit for tat. But he's coming out of this the winner, because he's, if you follow this guidance and you follow this knowledge, you're going to stop letting people make you feel less than you are. And when you stop doing that, you're going to win the battle. When they stop being able to affect you emotionally and use your emotions to yank you around and make you feel guilty and get what they want, you're going to be the one winning the battle. We don't win all the battles, but, in the end, we're going to win the war. And we're going to win the war because we're going to stop letting people do these things to us. We're going to know that we are worthy. We've always been worthy. It's our birthright. It's our birthright to have anything that we desire. And it's already ours. We just have to believe it. World Alina Catalina, hello, welcome in. So yeah, once you stop letting them make you feel less than, you've already won. Once you stop letting them use your emotions and get you off balance, you've won. And they're not going to be able to handle it. It's going to make them angry. They're going to go back and sulk. These two people back here are sulking. They're pouting and sulking because they didn't get what they wanted. You know what I mean? And Spirit doesn't want them to have what they want. Not if they're using your emotions and manipulation and causing you to feel like you have to defend yourself and explain yourself all the time. Because that keeps your light dim. That keeps you from shining. And Spirit wants you to shine and wants you to be out in the forefront shining. Victorious. He's taken some of the swords away from them. He's left a couple. So if they really want it, they could come back and try to stab them with them. But he's got 3 of them. He's taken 3 of them from them. Take your power back. No one can take your power unless you give it to them. You had to consent somewhere along the line, you know? There were red flags there that you didn't see. And I'm guilty. I am so guilty. Red flags that I wanted to ignore, or I second guessed myself, you know? But they're there, and they're there for a reason. When they show up, it doesn't mean to run away or do any of that. It means, you know, explain to them how it makes you feel, and talk to them about it. And if they don't give two shits about how you feel and they keep disrespecting you, then you walk away. Then you walk away, because then you know they're selfish. They care about themselves and they care nothing for your feelings or how they're making you feel. And they're doing it for their own secret agenda. Yeah. Normally, you know, and I was a runner. So that's something I had to work with. Red flags, they're not good, but you have to address them. You know what I'm saying? You have to address them. Don't just stay quiet and run, because sometimes a red flag is there to trigger you, and sometimes you can work through it with your partner if your partner is willing to work through it with you. But if they're not willing and they keep disrespecting, then yeah, run, cut all contact, be done. You don't even owe them an explanation. You know what I'm saying? Just cut all contact and be done. At the end of the day, you have to trust you. You have to trust your gut. You have to trust what you feel. Even over what I'm saying, you have to trust what you feel. Raisin, hi, welcome in. Sounds like you got a busy day today. Well, I bless you. I bless you on your day. And, you know, I hope you stay safe and you enjoy it. World Alina, Catalina. Okay, go to work. Have a good day. Even with that, guys, even with work, you know, you're going to work, you pick a job and you do an interview, you know, they're trying to see if you're good enough for them. Well, why aren't we interviewing them to see if they're good enough for us? You know what I'm saying? We're just accepting whatever they want to give us. We're not asking for what we deserve. And if it's something that, you know, is going to make you miserable, then why go for it? Because God doesn't want you to work in misery. He wants you to be happy and passionate and alive and wanting to get up and go to work every day. He doesn't want you getting up to go to work that you got to drag your ass to work, that you don't even want to get out of bed, but you push yourself and make yourself, because Sam needs paid. Yes, follow after him, not follow after everybody else. You're right, Renaissance. Or resin. Times are changing, though. The planet's vibration is raising. It's not like it used to be. You had to do all that before, you know, the hard work and the doing what you didn't want to do. But now he's wanting us to lean more into our passions. I mean, you got to think about it. Where are we going to be if the robots take over everything? How are we going to survive? They're already taking over jobs. We got to be future focused. What are you passionate about? Because that job that you drag your ass to work every day and you don't want to get out of bed, but you push yourself, robot's going to take that job over soon. So then where's that going to leave you? And then you're just a number. They're just going to discard you because a robot's going to be more efficient, more time, time management is going to be better. It's going to be more perfect or perfection or however you want to say that. So then where's that going to leave you? God's trying to prepare you for that. I mean, when I was a little kid, I watched a movie called Maximum Overdrive, where vehicles drove themselves and ran around slaughtering everybody. And the machine and appliances did too. And when I was a little kid, I could never imagine a car driving itself. Now we've got cars driving themselves. We've got to evolve. We've got to grow. We've got to be willing to be flexible and change. The world's changing around us, whether we want it to or not. Yes. And a lot of people will say that they're spiritual and they're godly just to get what they want. I've seen that too. That's been used against me too. And then, they've tried everything they could to shake my faith. And I have strong faith. I'm very loyal. I'm obedient. Even if I don't understand it, I still follow it. And I'm often led to places, and people are led to me. They've been trying for years to break my faith. And I'm not out here doing this alone. God's spirit source is with me, walking right with me, sometimes carrying me. And I'm passing the wisdom and the knowledge down from the experiences that I've had. It took me a long time to realize that people were using my emotions against me. They were using my good heart, my kindness for weakness, taking advantage of me, energy, time, money, making me believe that I wasn't valuable and I didn't matter and I wasn't good enough. So, I've learned that I am, and I know that you are too. You always have been. He's telling you, lay those burdens down. They don't belong to you. They don't belong to you. You've been carrying too many of other people's burdens, other people's thoughts, other people's opinions. It's time to lay them down. Take only yours. Take only what you need. Lay the rest down. You weren't meant to carry that heavy load up that hill. On everybody else's crosses, you took on their burdens. You took on when you're with somebody, you also are taking their karma on. You know what I'm saying? So they're telling you to lay that down. It don't belong to you. It never did. Shout out to Las Vegas. Good morning, Bay. Welcome in. Anybody on here want a reading? One question. A free reading. I'm not asking you to pay. I'm already being saved, Lamaine. Thank you. Welcome in. God is helping me. He's helped me through some really tough times. And he sent me out to help others, to lay knowledge and wisdom at their feet. But you have free will, so it's yours to choose whether or not to choose or not. What time is it? Okay, well, guys, I'm gonna get off here. I don't see very many people on here. Nobody seems to want a reading, a free reading. One question. So, but I've enjoyed talking to you all, and having conversations and seeing some of you out there, taking back your power and knowing your worth. Anyway, I love you guys. Don't be hard on yourselves. Keep your heads up. And remember, don't let others tell you what you're worth. You're worth everything. God said so. Love y'all. Later.